Hello, Critical Conversation Bros here. I'm Behold Greatness. This is
Top Rope Bubba.
And we are at the end of week 1 of football, and what a week it was.
A whole week already. But let's start it off. How was that fantasy last night?
This guy beat me by 0.4 points, if you can believe that. It came down to the very last drive of the game, and good old bum Aaron Rodgers took the bench, and good old Tyrod made sure I ate that L.
So, a little bit, I had Christian McCaffrey, and as everybody knows, he was inactive. And I was like, well, I had Garrett Wilson, he had Deebo Samuel. So I was like, well, I got to swing for the fence, so I decided to cut Jordan Palmer from the Chargers, and I was like, screw it, I'm going to go get that Mason kid that was supposed to start in Christian McCaffrey's. It's like, all right, maybe if he even gets me 6, 7 points and Garrett Wilson goes off. I get a text message this morning from him. I really hate you.
The Mason kid goes off.
Like 24 points.
Yeah, 100-plus yards, a touchdown, but that wasn't the killer. For most of the game, Wilson was shut down. He had 5 catches for like 50 yards. I was good. That last drive, I'm like, they're not going to play him. We're going to be good. They go out in that last drive with Tyrod. One gets called back. I'm still good. Nope. One more 10-yard catch. Fantasy season. Kaput out of the gate.
Yeah. So I was down by like 30, so I needed a Hail Mary as it was. That's why I was like, at first I was like, whatever, I'll just take the L. And I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll see what happens. Let's see if I can do it. And literally, I won by .40.
It is my second smallest margin of defeat. And both of them are to this guy.
I literally didn't think I had a... As Vince McMahon said, I thought I had no chance in hell. I was just swinging for the fence and hoping it stuck.
So I've learned playing him, just no lead is safe, obviously.
So, this is when fantasy owners think you're down and out, just go pick up the backup player for that team.
Rough. Yeah.
It was great. I really, to be honest, I really thought I was winning.
Did decent in some other leagues. Probably 50-50.
Yeah, I was about 2-2.
It was a very unpredictable week in fantasy.
Yes.
But we did make our picks for the actual games, and what did that come out to?
It was a rough week for both of us. So that was the final score after week 1.
Yeah.
He has 1 game up on me.
What a topsy-turvy week it was. I'd have to say the upset special, the Patriots beating the Bengals, really threw a wrench in
I
things.
don't think any of us had New England winning. Even New England, well, maybe they might have thought they would.
Yeah, I mean, there was a whole lot of head scratching that happened.
And my upset pick of the week, the Cardinals really should have won that game.
That was a good game.
Gave that game up.
They did, and I had the privilege of watching that Lions and Rams game. Wow.
A little bit of it, and then I went to
But we'll dig deeper into that.
Missed that. So
let's talk about the first game that opened up the week. Baltimore versus Kansas City. That's a tough L.
Yeah, I'm happy with the way Lamar played. He did what he always does. Offensive line was terrible, I thought. Defense was a little at the beginning, but they settled in nicely. That boy, Xavier Worthy, I tell you, he is mighty fast.
He's going to be special.
And him and Rashid Rice put together, I'm not trying to be biased. I've heard many other fans say the same thing, but the refs were clearly against Baltimore. They were definitely... I was definitely feeling they were a little more for Kansas City. The whole weird new offensive line penalty that literally hit us, I'm pretty sure, 5 times in the first drive, which was ridiculous. And Kansas City had did it numerous times and it wasn't even called. And John Harbaugh pointed it out. And, and unfortunately, we were literally a toenail away from tying the game. And I'm not going to be one of those fans that will come, sit here and argue with you and saying it was a toe out.
It was a toe out.
Unfortunately, we got bit again.
But he did miss 2 throws previously in that drive.
I missed that because I fell asleep.
So he had the opportunity to win the game. He missed 2 throws.
You're right.
He's got to be a little better.
I agree.
That interception really hurt.
He had an interception?
Or was it a fumble?
It was a fumble.
Sorry.
But I don't
Fumble really hurt.
I can't really say that was on him either. It may have been the center, kind of like your game. Yeah. It was kind of on the center. So
don't worry. I'll get into that.
I can't really... Oh, so will I. Don't worry. But yeah. All in all, I just hope we bounce back and have a better week 2 game against the Raiders we have to face. Crosby, which is no feat in itself.
But he did get shut down by Joe Alton. Wow.
So I'm hoping we look at the tape, regroup, and bounce back. And I hope it only fuels us because I know they hate losing against Kansas City as much as they hate losing against Pittsburgh. So that's my take on the game and off to week 2 for Baltimore.
I think they'll have a bounce back week. Look for them to be better. That first week's always a little sloppy. Speaking of sloppy, boy, this field was horrendous in Brazil for Green Bay and Philadelphia.
I'm surprised there were no torn ACLs or major injuries outside of Jordan Love, but
he got lucky
later.
This was a overall back and forth game, very entertaining in that aspect. That boy Saquon earned that money, didn't he?
Yeah, and I had him in probably, I think, 3 of my 4 fantasy teams. So, yeah.
Boy, if that's...
He looked healthy.
He looked healthy. He looked good. He was the highlight of the day for us.
It was.
Our receivers played pretty well. Hurts was a little sloppy. I expected a little regression the first game between the quarterback and the center. I didn't expect some of those exchanges to be as sloppy as they were leading to fumbles, but got through it, got the win, and that's really what matters.
Yeah, and of course I decided to use a free bet or whatever on a 4-leg parlay, and all I needed was a Jalen Hurts touchdown. And I was a push away and not a fumble away from $66. But I came up with a 0. So.
But hey, it was that was a great back and forth game. Good win by Philadelphia, executing when they needed to. It sucked to see Jordan Love go down. You don't like to see that.
Yeah.
That was the second last play of the game. I'm not sure it made a difference with him out there or Willis.
No.
But regardless, it was a good game. I'm glad Love's not hurt worse.
Yeah, I'm happy it's only for a month or so, because Love is definitely a big part of Green Bay, and you hate to see anybody go down with an injury, but let alone somebody that young and who is up and coming and trying to ball out. So
Malik Willis time.
Yeah.
Green Bay, we'll see.
So moving on, how terrible and bad are these Panthers?
I really think Bryce Young's in danger of getting benched for Andy Dalton very soon.
And that's saying something. I mean, Andy Dalton's
no bum, though. He played great when he was at the Bengals.
I think he's definitely... His time has passed.
I don't know if he's 100% washed. You can't be any worse than Bryce Young.
No, I'm not meaning that, but like as in like a full-fledged starter.
You don't really have an option at this point.
No.
This team's atrocious.
And I feel we may get him for about 4 weeks, and then they'll probably move on and tank, and then it'll be either Shador or Quinn Ewers. And if I were the Panthers, I'd go after Quinn Ewers because there's some of the things I saw from Shador over the weekend. I think he's gonna be a headache.
He could possibly be a head case like his dad. Apparently, even that's getting murky there. Because I saw reports where once the kids are gone, once his boys are graduated, they want to get rid of Dion already because he's wearing out his welcome.
So, we kind of touched on New England, but we'll touch on it a little more.
Upset special in Indy.
I would have bet anybody that New England wasn't winning this game. My boss said he had Cincinnati in like 5 parlays. He was not very happy.
They barely threw the ball, but they ran effectively and won.
Yeah.
So if you got Mr. Stevenson as your running back, apparently he's very viable.
Yeah.
Let's move on. A Chicago comeback.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were, I think it was down 20-0.
And they got 93 yards from their starting quarterback.
It was something like that. I mean, the defense showed up when it needed to show up.
That was reminiscent of the 85 Bears defense there for a little bit.
They had a pick six, a fumble down in good field position, and something else. And
it made it so they didn't have to do anything.
Really, Caleb didn't
the offense didn't have to do anything.
But he also didn't play to have his team lose. He was not the reason they were down. I can just say that.
There is some concern about their rookie being hurt. He was getting X-rays on Broom Dunze.
Oh yes, his knee.
Getting a knee
which
looked
sucks.
at. You don't want to see that. That's
especially
not
when
the
you
debut
have
he wanted.
Keenan Allen, who was limping at one point, and you know how injury prone he is. So that offense could go from outstanding to oh boy.
Good thing they still have some depth there, so we'll see.
So.
Oh boy, this was one that did a lot of people in fantasy wise here, boy. This next game.
Yeah, I mean, unless you had
Chris Boswell.
Yeah, Chris Boswell. You were feeling really good, but
the Steelers didn't.
What? I'm trying to figure out if it is the offensive coordinator again, or why they don't score touchdowns. They haven't scored a touchdown in I don't remember how long they said. But 5 field goals and they win. That I don't know if that's a testament on how good the Steelers defense really is or how bad the Falcons were.
First game back for Kirk Cousins, I thought he was atrocious.
He definitely looked very rusty and rough.
The rust was real, and honestly, you saw that with both guys coming back from Achilles tears because we'll get into it later, but Aaron Rodgers looked terrible too.
The little bit I watched at the beginning of the game, he did not look bad. So maybe he got worse as the game went on.
The completion percentages were not there.
So
where
unless
they
he dropped off after
missing some easy throws, making some gambling mistakes.
Let's just say the first drive I watched, he looked great. So I mean, and it must have dropped off.
You take some chances you don't need to take because you're not fully back, and it was very evident. I expect some of this because of the lack of play in preseason, but you could tell the Falcons were affected by that lack of continuity, a lot of new pieces. I don't think they'll continue to be that bad, but the Steelers are not going to win a lot of games if they have to win like that.
No, I mean, I feel like Justin Fields didn't play great, but he
wasn't terrible. But that wasn't efficient offense by any means. He didn't
play to cost the team the win, I should say.
Yeah.
But we had another comeback. It was Miami against Jacksonville, and I'm pretty sure it was like 17-7 or 17-3, something like that at some point where Jacksonville was just cruising. And I kind of feel like it's every year. Jacksonville has a really good game, and then all of a sudden you turn around, they're either losing or it's close, and it's like, why? Like, they have a good running back. They have a good team.
Good running back. It cost me.
Good coach. Like, I just don't understand why
they just fumble ETN.
I just don't understand why they can't put it all together.
Well, it was really good defense. Let's breaking it down. It was a great punch out. It was a nice little peanut punch to knock out the the ball from ETN. That really turned the game on its head. Tyreek Hill doing Tyreek Hill things even after his eventful morning, being arrested and all that good jazz. That guy's an animal. He might be the most unguardable wide receiver I've ever witnessed with my eyes. I mean,
I think Xavier Worthy's going to get there too.
I've seen some great players in my time. I was lucky to see a broken leg T.O. do some crazy things in a Super Bowl, stuff like that. But just consistently, Tyreek Hill is absolutely unreal what he does. The way they get him open, the way he plays. Not to take anything from Jalen Waddell, because he's a good dude himself.
The Waddle.
But Miami earned that win, and nice old Jason Sanders field goal. And
yeah.
Miami starting off hot, and Tua was the leading passer of the week with 300 yards.
That's awesome.
Dude's accurate and good, and he gets a lot of hate.
I've never once complained about Tua, other than they play really bad in cold weather games.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
And his health. His health's the only bad.
But
he's been healthy the past year.
Tua's been really good. So, next one we got is it's how we have it right. Deshaun ?
Kind of like the Browns, he stunk it up. Boy, I don't know if he's washed. I don't know if he's hurt still. I don't know if he's got other stuff going on.
Well, he did lose his dad and his friend.
I don't think he's all there, and I honestly don't think he should be the starter of this team.
100% agree. Or I was kind of mentioning, maybe a trade, new scenery trade, maybe him for like Daniel Jones or something just to see, because it sucks because Deshaun played real well in Houston, and you thought that, oh well, he's gonna do some big things, and it just I don't know. And I mean, I know how Cleveland is. We all know how Cleveland is with quarterbacks.
It's a real curse.
We did.
Look at Baker.
I was just going to say, look at Baker. Baker's been tearing it up, and anybody that gives that guy hate, they shouldn't, because Baker has earned the money that he got in Tampa Bay and has looked outstanding. And I was always on that bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a big Baker fan in Cleveland, and I feel like it wasn't really his fault.
No.
So when he went to Tampa Bay and balled out last year, and I was like, you know what? Tampa Bay needs to bring him back. He deserves to come back. And I know Mike Evans was one of those people that said, look, if you don't re-sign Baker, I'm not coming back either. So good for him. Keep it up and keep balling out.
I think it's time to start Jameis Winston.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I kind of agree with you.
But moving on to the other quarterback in this game, Mr. Dak, Mr. $60 million a year. Oh.
I'm happy with this because, Dallas can keep paying their people, because now they're going to have to pay Micah Parsons, and they can pay 3 people and just not be able to afford anybody else. It'd be great.
I will say, for as putrid as Cleveland was, they were in it for the majority of that game. It wasn't even out of reach till the end.
Yeah.
Because their defense kept them alive. That game could have been a runaway, and it wasn't. Because,
kind of like the New Orleans-Carolina game.
Any other game, that stat line Dak puts up isn't getting you the W. So, very, very lucky to escape Cleveland with them playing that putrid. I do expect at some point for Cleveland to right the ship and play better than that. Obviously, we know what weapons the Cowboys have. I did see a Ezekiel Elliott sighting.
Yeah.
He had a touchdown. He went back to his old college number, so that was good for him. Speaking of running backs, as we move forward here.
Yeah.
Wow, Mixon.
We had a few that actually bought out. We had Joe Mixon who bought out.
A 7th-round pick for that guy?
Look good.
A 7th-round pick for Joe Mixon?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
We had...
You are questionable people there, Bengals.
Touched on Saquon. Saquon had a great game. We can't leave out the Mason kid that bought out in San Francisco.
Yeah. What a week for him.
My boy J.K. from Baltimore. He is in different colors and Chargers, and he looked mighty healthy.
That was something.
And he is definitely one of those people I will root for as long as they're not playing us.
I'll touch on another special running back later on.
definitely rooting for him.
He looked healthy.
Yeah.
Man.
There's a few others that running back wise, Aaron Jones had a decent game with his Minnesota. James Conner had a decent game. Swift did not. Swift wasn't.
I don't think any offensive players for Chicago did.
Isaiah Pacheco had a very good game. So, I mean, there was a lot of running backs that had...
Your King Henry only had like 13 touches there, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see how next week is. Coach has already came out and said that's probably about what he's getting. Anywhere from 10 to 20. He's not going to be a big touch guy. So, we'll see.
I think there's going to be issues in Baltimore if that's the case because...
I'm sure they told him that when he signed. So.
There's no way he agreed to 10 to 13 carries. There's no way.
He might have.
I don't think so.
I think he wants a title. That's what he wants. But I don't.
You're not going to win one not giving it to King Henry.
I mean, I slightly agree with you.
Just saying.
Anyway, so, and as always, Mr. TJ Watt wrecks it and leaves.
There was some serious defensive players showing up. Khalil Mack looked like TJ Watt in the game that I watched. Wow. He was better than Bosa.
I mean, Joey Bosa is forced anyway. So.
I mean, there were some great defensive plays. I saw some interceptions. Shout out to Diggs, even though I hate the Cowboys. What a great interception. He had a tall and lanky, man. He just able to pick some tough passes off. There was a lot of great secondary play by some players that you weren't expecting. So it was nice.
Hit on some of the rookie quarterbacks. Bo Nix played okay.
Yeah, I don't think he was hateful for the first game.
I feel like he played slightly better than Caleb Williams.
He just didn't get the win. I mean, Caleb Williams got the win. That's what really what matters.
We had Drake May, who didn't play.
No.
Obviously, the quarterback in Minnesota is out.
Sam Darnold looked good.
Sam Darnold did look good. And your boy Anthony Richardson.
This guy has a cannon arm. His
stat line was not good, but the throws he was making, holy crap.
I had him in fantasy, and that pick's looking very good.
So,
that guy has a cannon.
But, yeah, I mean, there was a few rookie and second-year players that
Jaden Daniels
played real well. Yeah, Jaden Daniels
was pretty decent. I would like to see more throws.
Yeah.
A little run happy.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had an injury, the big one of the week, Jordan Love.
Yep.
Luckily, 3 to 6 weeks. So we'll see.
I mean, and it must not be too bad because they're not even putting him on IR or IL or anything, and they haven't even said he's not playing this week. So.
Oh boy! And this Detroit game, Detroit and Rams went in overtime. I watched this; it was awesome. And shout out to Mr. David Montgomery because, boy. He just pounded that rock down their throat and finished them off in overtime. What an incredible game it was.
Yeah, I'm just going to agree with what you said because I was counting sheep, buddy.
You were counting sheep, but I was watching. Boy, was it good. So
I mean, the little bit that I did watch, it was, Detroit's going to be good again. And I think the Rams are going to be decent too. So, and then we had the Jets and Niners game last night. So, they were, I think, the Niners are definitely going to be there.
Yeah. It's very clear that they're obviously still very good, which we all expected them to still be very good. I was just very disappointed in the Jets. So hopefully they can get it together. I don't know if, Rodgers not playing well kind of deflated them or what was going on. But I expect them to play better and be better.
Yeah. So that was the main of the storylines in week 1. If we really forgot anything, sorry. But yeah, week 1 had a bunch of different storylines in it already. Luckily, we really didn't have any big injuries.
Well, we still don't know. They say it's okay, but the hand for Josh Allen.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
They're kind of keeping that a little hush hush. I don't wonder if it's broken or something.
Hey,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that gets us to week 2.
Week 2, pick time.
Pick time.
Let's start it out, buddy.
All right, the Bills versus Miami.
Bills Mafia.
They can keep jumping on buses through tables because they're gonna be losing this week. Miami.
I am taking Miami as well. I think Tua is going to keep doing Tua things, and Tyreek's going to do Tyreek things, and I guess we're going to find out how good that hand really is.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Then we got the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Ravens. I feel decent enough to say the Ravens should win this game. So,
I'm picking the Dirty Blackbirds as well. Ravens with the W.
all right.
Cleveland versus Jacksonville. This is an interesting game, but I'm going to pick Cleveland to stay on the schneid and pick Jacksonville.
Okay. I am going to agree with you. I think Jacksonville will win. This may be the game if Deshaun plays really bad. Those rumblings are going to be mighty loud.
Yes.
And, I hope he plays well. I would like to see him succeed, but I guess we're going to really find out this week.
No.
We got the Jets at Tennessee.
Oh, boy. This is a tough one, isn't it? I think if Will Levis plays as bad as he did this past week, the Jets get back on track here and handle business.
Again, I'm going to agree with you. I think the Jets are going to win this game. I just don't think Will Levis is ready yet. I haven't seen anything that just sparks me. And maybe we'll get Hassan Reddick to show up, because I think they said something like he's lost 8-point-something million already. Like, what? And we don't even some of us don't even make that in our lifetime.
He is making egregious decisions.
Yeah, so.
The Niners versus Minnesota. Here you go.
I'm going to differ from you. I feel like I'm going to go with those Minnesota Vikings for an upset.
Okay. While I can realistically see that, I'm going to pick the Niners.
One, because I think Sam Darnold wants to show the Niners that he was in San Fran for a hot minute, right?
Well,
Yeah.
For a cup of tea.
Yeah, for a cup of tea. I'm going with the Vikings. We got the Chargers, who actually didn't choke last week, versus the... don't even know what to call them at this point. Like a single A football team.
Carolina Kittens.
It works for me.
The Chargers. This is a horrible coach team is going to beat Carolina.
Do we have an upset in the making? No. Carolina is not upsetting the Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers. And they're going to have a field day with Bryce Young. So.
Seattle versus New England. Here you go.
Unfortunately, I think New England's happy endings will end right here, and Seattle is going to win.
Yeah, I don't see them pulling magic out of that twice. Seattle's a good coach team. I think Seattle wins.
The next game I think is going to be actually a really good game. The New Orleans Saints against the Dallas Cowboys.
Upset special. I'm picking New Orleans over Dallas.
I'm in agreement with you with that upset pick of the week. The New Orleans Saints are going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Got
New York Giants versus the Washington Commanders. This is an interesting game, and I think Danny Dimes is in trouble because he's going to get outplayed by a number 2 overall pick and lose to the Commanders. Commanders win.
I think we're going to lock, set, and seal this upset pick of the week. The New York Giants are going to lose against the Washington Commanders.
Very well, very well.
We got good old Baker and Tampa Bay heading into Detroit. I'm calling this game of the week, fellas. Game of the week.
This is going to be, as good old JR would say, a slobber knocker.
Pour some barbecue sauce on that one.
I'm picking Detroit, man. After what I saw they are so well coached, disciplined, and they're going to play even better than what they played. So I'm picking Detroit.
I agree with you, but I want at least a game different than you. So I am going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it will be a very good game and a very close one.
All right.
We got the Indianapolis Colts against the Green Bay Packers. Who do you got?
With Malik Willis starting for Green Bay, I'm picking Indianapolis easily.
Yeah. I think this could actually be semi of a defensive game, to be honest with you. But yeah, Indy's gonna win. I think even if Jordan Love miraculously somehow does play, it's still gonna be Indianapolis. So, yeah.
The LA Rams versus the Arizona Cardinals.
Sorry, Sam.
Ho ho.
Sorry.
Ooh.
I am going to take my Arizona Cardinals again this week because they should have won last week. But I'm going to take them this week for the dub. So the Arizona Cardinals.
I like that pick, but I think even without Nakua, there's injuries on that front line. I think Stafford could play a little better, not have to throw as much, maybe lean on that run game. They're absolutely not winning. We're picking Arizona.
Wow, that was a swerve bomb right there.
Swerve.
Okay.
All right. So we got Pittsburgh versus Denver. Ooh. This is an interesting game.
Is Pittsburgh going to kick 5 field goals again?
I hope not. But I'm actually going to pick Denver in this one.
Are we going to get Russell Wheels Wilson?
If he's healthy. My calf hurts. I don't know. I'm picking Denver.
Can I pick my eyelids? Because it's probably what I'd rather watch.
The snoozer game of the week.
Yeah, I'm picking Denver. And it's not just because I don't like Pittsburgh. I'm just picking Denver.
Moving on.
We got the Cincinnati laying egg Bengals against the Kansas City run all over everybody Chiefs.
You know what? I'm going with the Kansas City killer. Joe Burr. Get off the schneid. Cincinnati wins a close one.
Well, you're right about Joe Burr. He's going to be Burr! Cold! Because he ain't doing crap. And, unfortunately, God, it pains me. It pains me to make this pick. I gotta take Kansas City. God.
I had to be different from you for once, so I'm picking the Kansas City killer.
And I'm not just taking them because Cincinnati's in our division. I think those wide receivers are going to have a heyday in Cincinnati. Secondary, so. Whew, my chest is hurting. Just making
Chicago versus Houston.
This could be a good game, but I'm going Houston.
I think it's going to be a competitive game, but I'm picking Houston as well.
Yeah. All right, we finally got to your team. We got the Atlanta Falcons, the Birds, against the other Birds, but they dirty, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Fly Eagles fly. I'm picking my Birds to win.
I'm going to block here because, yeah, no, I can't pick against the Eagles. After what I saw Saquon do, yeah, there ain't no way I'm picking against those Eagles. Sorry, Atlanta's going 0-2, and I actually got to say those question marks are going to start creeping. 0-2.
Panic.
Michael Penix is on that back burner there, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another lefty that's mobile in Atlanta. Interesting. Remember what happened last time.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm taking Eagles.
Yep. I think it's going to be a great second week. There's a lot of great games.
Yeah, I feel like we don't have as many intriguing games as we did last week.
But there's still some good
There
games
are.
on that docket. Maybe some of these ones we label as stinkers will blow us away. So we'll see.
So, yeah, we will continue to do our,
Pick 'em.
storyline next week, and then we'll get into our picks. I'm going to try to keep it on every Tuesday, as long as our schedules work out.
Yeah.
And excited for week 2. Before we know it, we'll be in like week 12, and it's like, where'd the football season go?
Just flying by, but we're gonna enjoy it, soak it in, and can't wait to see what storylines pop up next.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think we should hopefully see a taper down in injuries because we saw a lot of linemen.
Yeah.
Puka. Saw a couple players go down. Nothing crazy serious, and I hope we don't see anything crazy serious. These short-term injuries we can deal with. It's the season-ending ones that really turn everything topsy-turvy.
Yeah.
So we just hope for a good, healthy season.
Yeah. Do some shout-outs. We got T-shirt Tony, the official apparel maker of the Critical Conversation Bros.
Funny Farm Apparel Company. Check them out.
Facebook page. I met with Tony on Friday, so hopefully we will have a link to our merchandise up hopefully sometime this week or next week. He's just really busy, but he is working on it. I did discuss with him some things, and
getting that rolling.
Speaking of the Discord, thanks for those of you that
we did have people participate
in the picks, and I'm leaving it open for week 2. Anybody that would like to join. Now, obviously, you'll be a week behind, so you'll have to be very strategic and smart. But this will be the last week that it is open for anybody that would like to be a late joiner. I will put the Discord down in there. Please join. If not, just join to shoot it up, like talk NFL or even wrestling like we do.
So, yeah, there was lots of smack talk on there about the Dirty Blackbirds.
Yeah, so
stuff. Yeah.
So again, thank you to the ones that did play, even though it was mainly my work people. But
hey,
it's fun. They were all asking me, "What's the standings?" So, and obviously, I did put in the Discord that whoever is in the top at the end of the year will get a free piece of merch of your choice.
Great.
So that is incentive out there.
It is.
Who you got?
Oh, we got Myers Meadows, best wiffle ball around. Shout out to John and Tom Turnbull. Great guys.
Got the Looney Goons Productions guys, the RJ and Neil.
Very nice guys.
Check them out. They have a
Good
YouTube
music.
page. Neil also goes as Patrick Stunner, so if you want to check his music out, he is on YouTube. He has some good singles. RJ is on there as well.
Awesome. Who's our friend across the pond?
Ryan,
Yeah,
118. He
Ryan
talks about
118.
football,
Yeah.
the other football, and wrestling, which is Ryan 118 Wrestling. So please check him out and give him love.
Awesome. Shout out to Sam and Steph. We watched some football with Sam the other day. It
On
was
Friday,
enjoyable.
yeah.
Pizza, wings. Can't go wrong there.
Yeah, and Steph had a good vacation away, so that was great.
Happy belated birthday.
Shout out to any football friends, family that we have that just like talking smack.
Yeah, it's fun.
And the fantasy crew that it's going to be fun all year long.
Yeah, lots of smack talk going on in there. That's for sure. I know some of my old friends, Damien was already talking smack.
Oh, the old Schindler crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good times. Lots of good friends.
As long as Lopez don't send 5 trades a week.
They're terrible trades.
When we say terrible, like terrible,
Like
only you would accept them if you're drunk and wasted.
You're just shooting in the dark, throwing these out. And I guess if you get one to ever accept, I guess you did your job. So, but yeah, at that point, make sure you like, comment, follow, subscribe, hit the little bell, follow us on YouTube, TikTok, and Discord.
And I almost forgot, shout out to the Macaroon Lady.
Oh yeah, it was good.
Something
we did a review
sweet.
for her. We did a review.
Please check those videos out and check her Facebook out. It's something sweet. She makes macaroons all week long and then sells them in our wonderful little town on Saturdays
And
from
she's
10 to 3.
And she's never open till 3 because she sells out.
100% she sells out within the first hour,
And that's okay.
hour and a half.
Because it's delicious.
They are outstanding.
In fact, I'm going to go eat one.
Me too.
Sounds great.
So, again,
On that note-
shout out to all of our wonderful followers, people that subscribe, people that watch, people that come through and support us and continue to support us, and all the new people that were like, who are these guys?
Yeah, exactly.
We continue to try to get better each and every time we make a video, and again, we're always open to suggestions in the comments, in the Discord, wherever you would like to put them.
And we literally watch everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, we try to watch and critique and make sure.
Because even if there's a
good.
game we haven't watched or something we haven't watched,
Yeah.
we're watching every bit of the highlights that are available to us.
Yeah.
And looking at the box scores and like, okay.
Yeah, because there's some things that I miss, and yeah. So.
Yeah, so.
And anything we get wrong, please tell us that. Whoa, yeah, hey, you're wrong.
Oh, yeah. Let us
We're
know.
like, okay. So.
But most of the time, we're pretty good.
Yeah, so have a safe, wonderful rest of the week and weekend, and
Cheers the week, too.
cheers the week too, and we will see you again in a week.
See you in 1 week. Thank you.
Thank you. Peace out. Be safe.
Have a good one.